Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Laurie.
And I'm Gary.
And we are
Laurie and Gary Cruise.
Welcome back to our channel.
Good to see you.
Well, we recently came off of an 11-day Royal Caribbean Odyssey of the Seas cruise from New Jersey to the Caribbean.
Yep.
So in today's video, we're going to wrap it up with a couple of notes. We got a couple of notes, right?
Got a couple of notes.
Got a couple of notes.
Couple of notes.
Come and cruise with us. Come and cruise with us. Come and cruise with us, and you won't regret it. So here's the deal, guys. We set out to film our what we love and what we hated about our cruise video.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden we kept saying, well, we didn't hate that. Well, we didn't hate that.
I really didn't. I mean, hate is a very strong word. And when you go on a cruise, it's really hard to really hate something. But we did come up with a list of things that could have been better. I mean, after all, it's a cruise. What's to hate on a cruise?
Exactly. This video is not labeled what we loved and hated. It's labeled things that could have been better.
Yeah.
You know?
Things that could have been better, yeah.
Yeah, you could have fixed that a little bit.
Good one. Okay.
So let's get into it. Also, you're going to want to stick around until the end of this video.
Why is that?
Because, well, thank you for asking, Gary. That's because we have the thing that's very Royal Caribbean centric that kind of could have been the most better. It annoyed us the most.
Yeah.
So
annoying, that's a good word. Annoying.
yeah. So stick around to the end to find out what we're talking about.
Yes. You want to stick around.
But before we're at the end, let's start at the beginning, which is number one, which is the location of Azumi. So this is on all Quantum class ships.
It's crazy.
So Odyssey of the Seas is actually a Quantum Ultra class ship.
Yeah.
We'd been on Anthem of the Seas before, and it was the same thing on Anthem, is the Azumi is located in the middle of a freaking thoroughfare.
Right? And I mean, you're sitting here, my wife's sitting here, she's sitting there, and then 2 feet from us, people are walking by. It's like, where's the intimacy? Well, there is no intimacy. That could have been a lot better.
And half of the tables kind of overlook the Royal Esplanade.
Yeah.
Which
down below.
It can be kind of nice to people watch, but it can also just be really noisy. And if you're trying to have an intimate dinner for two,
forget about that.
It's just not the best location. And
it's really noisy, actually.
And while we're on the subject of Azumi, just to compound 2 more things about the restaurant in with this section is they watered down the soy sauce.
Oh my gosh, the soy sauce. It looked like
brown water.
It was like, it looked like brown water. It wasn't, you could see the bottom of it. It says watered down.
I mean, I know you're trying to cut costs, Royal, but soy sauce?
This is soy sauce.
Come on, Royal.
Come on, this is soy sauce. What are you doing?
Also, again, just like on Symphony of the Seas, their portion sizes have gotten noticeably smaller, dare I say, cut in half.
Yeah, for instance, when we were on there before, you would order a roll, and it would be about 8 or 10 pieces. Now it's about
big
5
pieces.
Yeah, big. It was like a big plate. Now it's about 4 or 5, actually.
And also,
they've cut it in half.
Also, side note, and this was the first time this happened, but I did get food poison.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, at Azumi.
And I didn't put in a complaint in Royals.
That's right.
Full transparency, I didn't put in a complaint. It was the first time it happened. I'm pretty sure it was from the crab there.
Yes.
And again, we've eaten there many times before.
Yeah.
But because the quality of the food has gone down, I'm wondering if that's why I got food poisoning.
It's gone way down.
Yeah.
I like doing that. Way down. Okay, let's get back on subject.
Do you guys enjoy that, or do you find it annoying? Please let us know.
I love it.
Below.
She finds it annoying. Anyway, back to here we go. Well, what's next?
Number 2, I'm going to say this one too because it's more of a me thing than a Gary thing, but it was it was an 11-day cruise, and of all the 11 days, every single day there would be 2 or 3 trivias on the list.
Oh, yeah.
And oftentimes it was certain themes repeated. Like there was world trivia multiple times, and then some general trivia. But there was only one day when they had movie trivia and musical theater trivia. Now, I know musical theater trivia is probably not super popular, but let me tell you.
May not be your bag.
May not be your bag. I would have taken it home. But also, movie trivia, that's got to be popular. Anyway, the one day they had it was the day I was food poisoned.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go.
And I'm a musical theater actor. I would have killed it. And she's, we would have killed that thing. We would have killed it. But she was sick, so we couldn't go.
And it was the only day they had it. We kept looking in the schedule.
Yep.
Movies, musical theater, please. No, just world trivia.
World trivia.
Also, what even is that world trivia? I don't know everything in the world. That's too broad. Make it specific. Make it niche. Niche world. European trivia.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah. Caribbean trivia.
Wow, yeah.
World trivia.
Number 3. We didn't know that there were 2 ports in St. Thomas. Well, we found out because we were at a port that we didn't want to get stopped at.
Well, okay. It was so upsetting, you guys. So, leading up to this cruise, the last time we were in St. Thomas was on our very first cruise.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely one of our all-time favorite ports in the Caribbean that we've ever been to.
Loved it.
We did an amazing zip lining excursion. We walked around the whole area.
Love zip lining.
Oh my goodness. So this time we went back, we watched a lot of other YouTube videos for research, and we learned that the Sky Ride, which is that tram that takes you to the top of the mountain, is less than a 15-minute walk away from the port.
We were just going to walk there and go up this mountain. It was going to be great. We're going to take 1,000 pictures and videos and blah, blah, blah. We're going to have a great time.
So we Google mapped that out. We watched a bunch of videos about it. We went over the cost. And when we got off the port, we were like, this is different.
Wait a minute. I don't recognize any of this. What's going on here?
What's happening? And come find out, we were not at the port within walking distance of the Sky Ride.
Yeah.
And because we thought we were in walking distance, we didn't bring cash with us. Like, we didn't want to take a cab. Like, we didn't want to have our plans suddenly switched.
Yeah.
So we ended up being like, it's okay. We'll make lemonade out of lemons. Let's enjoy this port. Well, the port sucked.
So we got off the port, and all there was about a dozen kiosks. And after that, there was nothing.
Like 1 or 2 restaurants,
yeah,
maybe.
It was,
Just to let you guys know, the port we were at was called the Crown Bay Cruise Port.
Yeah.
And it was in Charlotte Omelette. I'm probably butchering the name.
Crown Bay Cruise Port.
Yeah.
That's where we were.
So
that's where we didn't want to go, but that's where we were.
So what could have been better is we could have been to the good port.
The other port. Way off in the distance, we saw another cruise ship. That's where we wanted to go.
So jealous. But in all honesty, you guys, the Sky Ride is about a 10-minute taxi ride. We just didn't, once you have plans set up in your head, you don't want to like stray from the plans.
Yeah.
So
well, we don't.
We just nixed it and ended up having not that great of a time.
Yeah, we went back on board.
Well, we did have a nice time on board with the half-empty cruise ship. That's always nice.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, that could have been better, is all of the freaking cruise ship excursions. All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. So let's go through each one. So the first one was the plane spotting at Maho Beach in St. Martin.
Now, we've seen videos of this over the years, and I if it ever came up again, I said, honey, we got to book this excursion because it looks great on the videos. Those planes go over just above your head, and it's so cool. And when they take off, they come right in front of you, just across the street. They come off, they take off, and they blow you off. I thought this is going to be so much fun. But, well, when we got to the beach, there are no umbrellas. There are no lounge chairs.
So there weren't no umbrellas. There were chairs and umbrellas to rent for $35.
$35.
But they weren't even in a good part of the beach. They were like right next to like kiosk shops.
Yeah,
So it would
way
not
off.
have been relaxing.
They were way off in the distance.
And they were on a cliff. And honestly, so the excursion, which is pricey because it's a cruise ship excursion.
Yeah.
All it does is drop you off there.
And they say, bye.
Bye.
So you're out in the sun for 3.5, 4 hours with no protection at all, nowhere to go, nothing to, it's like crazy.
I mean, there's like one bar or restaurant that you can go to if you want.
Pricey.
But in general, it's, if the excursion had just been the beach for 1 hour and then someplace else for 1 hour or something, that would have been fine.
Mix it up a little bit. But they just dropped us off and took off.
Or if the excursion had included lunch, that would have been fine also.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah, but it didn't include anything.
Anything.
It didn't even include letting you pee. You had to pay $1 to
You had
use
to
the
pay
bathroom.
$1 to pee.
It's a privilege to pee.
And since nobody was in the water because the surf was so, you couldn't even pee out in the ocean.
Water's worth its weight in gold these days. No more bathrooms like in olden days.
Okay.
Where are my musical theater peeps at?
There you go.
You're in town, anyone? Let me know in the comments.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So I don't want to say this beach is like the worst place to go. It's kind of nice for a half hour, but what we recommend you do is get a cab because there's plenty of cabs at the port, and then there's a whole taxi stand at the beach to get back. So you don't have to worry about not being able to hail a cab. There's a taxi stand right there. So do not do this excursion. But wait, we have 2 more excursions to go. The next one was, and this was okay, but it definitely could have been better.
Was this another beach?
Yeah, it was the beach excursion in St. John.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, another that could have been better excursion.
So to get there, it was 45-minute drive in a really crappy I can't even call it a bus. It's like a van bus.
A van bus. I mean, one guy sat down in a chair and it collapsed. He just fell over. It was ratty.
The thing is, these excursions say things like, friendly for all mobility issues or whatever they say. But when you're going to take someone to the beach in a bus that rickety, which where
they didn't mention the rickety part.
There's no easy way to get into that bus. It's really not mobility impaired friendly.
Yeah.
And Gary's got bad knees. He can't be climbing to the back. And also, it's one of those buses where you have to sit with your knees up here.
Yeah, right.
Like you guys saw
up to your chest. Yeah. Everybody was scrunched in there. It was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And extremely uncomfortable going back. Oh my gosh.
And the air conditioning is not good.
Air conditioning didn't work. And this girl turned on music. It was really loud.
I don't want to go off on the girl because she was so sweet.
She was a sweetheart.
But she was young and she was blasting that local music.
Yeah, and she was talking over it. So it was like
she was trying to deliver the tour guide.
She was so sweet, though. She was really
sweet. So we don't want her to get in trouble because we really like her.
Oh, no, she was great.
But buy
a new bus, for Pete's sakes.
Yeah. And then once we were at the beach, it was another beach where, because of the location it was at, the surf was just really high.
Really high. You get into the beach, it just blows you over.
And at one point during high tide, it started, there were some people lying out on the beach and the tide just came in and their towels got soaked.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those calm beaches where it just barely comes in. No, when it's high tide, it's blah. Every time you took a step, it was like 6 inches of, it was hard to walk on. It was crazy.
And again, there were umbrellas, but they were extra. And the excursion did come with 1 drink, which was nice, but the food was extra. And it was just like burgers, fries, that sort of thing.
And it started to rain, which wasn't their fault. But it was on top of everything else. It started to rain toward the end.
It started to rain, and it was towards the end, and everyone was lined up outside of the bus van, whatever you want to call it, ready to go. And they were like, no.
No, we're going to stay because
excursion's 4 hours. We're not. No,
we're staying here until the 4 hours is over. In the meantime, it's raining. I mean, come on.
And literally everyone is like in a line waiting to leave.
And they're looking at them going, come on, let's go. Come on. No, we got 4 hours.
Just definitely could have been better. Not the worst, though.
Yep.
I would say not the worst. And then the last excursion that could have been better was the dolphin excursion, which sucks because it was so awesome until the
we had great dolphins. We had great dolphins. Gaia was the dolphin's name. Yeah, it's a girl about, how old did she say?
15? 12?
Yeah. It was like 8 or 9 years old, and she was so sweet to us. I mean, she would push us, she would pull us, we'd grab her dorsal fins, and she would just, it was just lovely. But afterwards, go. So
the dolphin portion of the dolphin swim and excursion was
perfect.
10 out of 10, which you would think would be, well, what's the complaint? I don't understand.
Perfect.
The retail shop. Laurie, Gary, why, who cares if the retail shop sucked? No, we were in there for a freaking hour. We pay all the prices for the ship photos. We get it. That's what happens. They overcharge for photos.
Yeah, obviously you couldn't bring your own camera because they're taking photos, click, because they want to, you're going to...
They need a profit.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah, we understand that.
But the way they charge for the photos...
But $45 a picture? Come on!
But here's the thing. You can't get a package because there's no couples package.
Yeah.
It's either this much for Laurie's pictures or this much for Gary's pictures, and that much is $200. So if we had purchased all of our photos, it would have been $400.
$400.
So instead, we got one photo each. And it was $90.
$90.
And this is for a digital copy, you guys.
Yeah.
Please let us know in the comments below if you think $90 for 2 digital photos is unhinged.
Well, I think we got ripped off. That's all there is to it. But they were great photos. So we got photos to keep forever.
To add
Still, though,
insult to injury, in order to get those photos, we had to wait online, and their system was so messed up. The guy would come over and be like, just push the button, and then he would like run away, and we'd like, what button? This is not self-explanatory.
Plus, there was just one girl. There was just one. You're getting out of control there, baby.
Mad just thinking about it.
There was just one girl behind the counter to purchase the pictures, and there was this big line, and each person took forever, and it was just, and plus, like we said before, $45 a piece for the pictures. You know, just a little.
Now, you guys can all say in the comments if you think we're being out of line by complaining about the retail shop, but let me tell you, when we got on the bus to get back to the ship, everyone was complaining about the retail shop.
Yeah, everybody was going, what the heck was that about?
Everyone said, until the retail shop, it was a great excursion.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm knocking 2 points off for the excursion, and that could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been 10 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
This is St. Kitts, but BTW.
St. Kitts, yeah.
And we're almost ready to wrap this up, but before we do you guys mind hitting the
like and subscribe button
with the
notification bell?
The notification bell will let you know every time we post a new video. We post every Wednesday, but sometimes we like to add an extra one in there.
Sometimes.
One here, one there. And plus, we have a bunch of cruises coming up, including Norwegian Prima.
Can't wait for that one.
Celebrity Edge in Alaska. And then also our very first cruise with Virgin.
Can't wait for that.
Lines.
Is that next January?
That's September.
Oh, September. Ooh, good. We have so many coming up, I get confused. Anyway.
Also, one more thing before we get into the end. I just want you to know, if you've been following us, I think you guys should be very happy because, please note, our last complaint about this cruise has nothing to do with there being too many kids on board. And I think that has been a frequent complaint in almost every single wrap-up video we've done. So
sometimes they get out of control. And I really don't blame the kids. Like I've said before, it's the parents who won't control them. But anyway.
That wasn't a problem on this cruise.
Yeah.
There weren't that many children.
Right.
True, it was an 11-day cruise, but I also think that Quantum class ships, because they don't have water slides they have kiddie water slides, but because they don't have water slides for, older kids and teens, I think that detracts a lot of families from sailing with them.
Yeah.
And combined with an 11-day cruise, it was relatively child-free, and the kids that were there were fairly well behaved.
Yeah. It was like, I was surprised, actually.
So let's give Royal 4 thumbs up for that. Thank you, Royal.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, no kids in the solarium, ever.
Yeah.
Did you spot a kid in there? I didn't.
Not one time.
Not one time.
It says adults only, and it was adults only.
Yeah, that's been a big problem.
Yeah, in the past, every time it says adults only, there's always kids in there, and they don't police it. They never tell any kids to leave the area.
All right.
So.
Well, we're at the end.
Yep.
And
wrapping this baby up.
I'm going to wrap it up. Number 5, and this one is almost. This is I don't like.
Makes her mad. Makes me just a little upset.
Okay, I guess it just makes me a little upset too.
Little upset.
But because we did 2 Anthem of the Seas cruises, and the iFly was always included. You know what we're talking about, the simulated skydiving machine, iFly.
Fun.
And it used to be included 1 visit, fine, and now it costs extra, quite a bit extra.
What, $50? $25?
More than $25. It varies cruise to cruise, but it was at least $35, if not more. And it also varies when you go. I think when you're at port, it's less expensive.
To sea days. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's quite a bit extra, and I find that really unfortunate. I know Royal Caribbean needs to make money, but even if it was a small fee extra,
if you're gonna charge people maybe $10, $15, $20, that's reasonable. But they went sky high on this.
When something on your ship ends up costing that much extra, I feel like it's no longer this special, unique thing that makes me want to cruise Royal Caribbean for that reason.
Come on, Royal.
Another thing that used to be included that costs extra is the North Star.
Yeah, that's the big arm that goes up 160 feet in the air.
Now, the good thing about the North Star is when you are at port, it's free. So I think that they should at least extend that offer with the iFly. Yeah?
But, I wouldn't want to go on that big arm out in the ocean anyway when they charge, because what are you going to see? Nothing but ocean. So we went on when it was free at port, and you get to see all the landscape and the ocean and everything else. So we just waited for the port. Yeah,
so really it's the iFly that could have been better.
Could have been better,
at least on port days. Come on.
Come on, RCCL.
Yeah, come on, throw us a bone.
Nickel and diamond, I tell you.
And that wraps up our Odyssey of the Seas journey. Yeah. If you haven't seen them yet, please go back and watch our past vlog videos for this cruise. Yeah. They're really fun.
Yeah.
We visit all the restaurants. We go to all the ports. You can see what we're complaining about here. And until the next time, we want you to
live your best cruise life. Bye, guys. Until next time.
Bye. Oh, bye. Bye. Bye.